You are on HOA neighbor court. She framed me early, and I paid for it at first. The clock is running, and you are feeding it. That was what Paige Holloway shouted at me while jabbing her clipboard toward my chest, standing between me and my own mailbox like she owned the entire cluster. I had just pulled up in my truck after a long inspection job in Kissimmee, still wearing my work boots and my tan zip jacket with the hood pulled up against the late afternoon drizzle, and she was already there waiting. Her red ponytail swung like a whip as she turned to face me. The clipboard was wrapped in a clear plastic sleeve, no readable text visible, but she held it like a weapon. Your name is going in the minutes as the thief, she continued, louder now so the neighbors pulling their own mail could hear. You stole the HOA storage keyring from the clubhouse, and I have multiple witnesses. I am calling a tow truck right now if you do not admit it. I froze. I had no idea what she was talking about. I am a building inspector. I spend my days checking foundations and roof trusses, not stealing keyrings from community clubhouses. I live in Silver Oak Community Association, a gated neighborhood in Orlando, Florida, where every street curves past identical stucco homes, and every amenity requires a key fob and a permission slip. Paige Holloway is the board vice president, which means she has access to everything and answers to almost no one. She has been gunning for me since I filed a complaint about the pool gate being left unlocked 3 months ago, and now she had found her angle. I did not steal anything, I said, keeping my voice level. I have not even been to the clubhouse this week. She smiled. That thin, knowing smile that says she has already decided how this ends. She pulled out her phone, scrolled for a second, then turned the screen toward me. I saw a blurry screenshot of a neighborhood chat message, but the text was too small to read from where I stood. Multiple neighbors saw you, she said. You were there Monday afternoon. The keyring went missing Monday night. You do the math. I shook my head. I was on a job site in Kissimmee all day Monday. I have GPS logs, timestamps, the whole thing. You are wrong. Her smile did not move. If you fight me, I will make it worse. She said it slowly, like she was explaining something to a child. I do not make the rules, I enforce them. And right now, the rule is you admit what you did, return the keys, and pay the replacement fee. Or I post this in the neighborhood chat today and let everyone know we have a thief in the community. That was the moment I realized she was not looking for the truth. She was looking for a target. And I was it. I pulled out my own phone and opened my work app. Look, I said, turning the screen toward her. Monday, Kissimmee, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. I was not even in Orlando. You can see the job address right here. She glanced at the screen for maybe half a second, then waved it away. That does not prove anything. You could have driven back during lunch. You could have had someone else take your truck. I have witnesses who saw you. Show me the witnesses, I said. She tucked her clipboard under her arm. They do not want to be identified. They are afraid of retaliation. That was the first goalpost move. She claimed she had witnesses, but the witnesses never appeared. It would become a pattern. A tow truck rumbled past the mailbox cluster, slowing as it passed. Paige turned and waved, like she was flagging down a cab. The driver, a guy in a reflective vest, rolled down his window. You called about a vehicle complaint, he said. Paige nodded and pointed at my truck. That one. Silver Ford. Unauthorized overnight parking in a fire lane. I stared at her. My truck was parked in a guest spot, not a fire lane. It was clearly marked. But she read my license plate number out loud while staring directly at me, slow and deliberate, like she was engraving it into the public record. The driver looked uncomfortable. Ma'am, I need to verify with management before I can tow. Do you have the authorization paperwork? Paige pulled a folded paper from her clipboard sleeve and handed it to him. I am board vice president. This is my authorization. Tow it now, or I will report your company for non-compliance. The driver unfolded the paper, scanned it, then looked at me. Sir, do you live here? Yes, I said. Unit 12. That is a guest spot, not a fire lane. You can see the sign right there. He looked at the sign, then back at Paige. Ma'am, this does not look like a fire lane to me. Paige stepped closer to the cab. I do not make the rules, I enforce them. If you refuse this tow, I will make sure the HOA switches vendors. Your company will lose this contract. The driver sighed. I will call my dispatcher. He rolled up his window and picked up his radio. Paige turned back to me, her face glowing with something close to joy. See how easy that was? Now imagine what happens when I post about the theft. Your landlord will get a copy. Your lender will get a copy. Everyone in Silver Oak will know you are a thief. Unless you make this right. Today. That was the time pressure. She threatened to post the accusation publicly today unless I complied. The rumor blast in the neighborhood chat would destroy my reputation, and once it was out there, it would not matter if I proved my innocence later. People remember the accusation, not the retraction. I took a breath. What do you want? She smiled again. Admit you took the keys. Pay the $200 replacement fee. Apologize in writing. Then I drop the towing complaint and keep this quiet. I did not take any keys, I said. I was not even here. Then you leave me no choice. She pulled out her phone and started typing. I watched her thumbs move fast across the screen, and I knew she was drafting the neighborhood chat post. My mind raced. I needed proof. Fast. I needed someone who could verify I was not at the clubhouse Monday. I needed to know who actually took the keys. And I needed to do it before she hit send. The tow driver leaned out of his cab again. Ma'am, my dispatcher says we need management to confirm the fire lane designation before we proceed. Can you provide that? Paige did not look up from her phone. I am management. I just told you. He shook his head. I mean the property management company. We need their signature. She finally looked up, and for the first time, I saw a flicker of frustration cross her face. Fine. I will call them right now. She hit a number on her phone and put it to her ear, staring at me the whole time. I used the moment to text my buddy Marcus, the mailroom worker at the management office. Marcus had been with Silver Oak for 6 years and had seen every board power play in the book. If anyone knew what was really going on with the stolen keys, it would be him. Me. Paige is accusing me of stealing HOA keys, says she has witnesses. Any idea what this is about? Marcus, dude. Storage key ring went missing Monday night. She has been on a rampage all week. Accused 3 people so far. You are number 4. Me? 3 people? Marcus, yep. Pool guy. Landscaper. Some resident in building C. She backed off each time when they pushed back. She is fishing. That was the first clue. Paige was not investigating a theft. She was manufacturing accusations until one stuck. And I was the latest mark. But why? What did she gain from this? Paige was still on the phone, her voice getting sharper. I do not care what your policy is. I am board vice president, and I am authorizing this tow. Send me the paperwork now. The voice on the other end said something I could not hear. But Paige's face darkened. She ended the call and jammed her phone into her pocket. They need 24 hours to process it, she said to the tow driver. Come back tomorrow with the signed authorization. The driver nodded and started his engine. I will be back tomorrow morning, he said, then pulled away. Paige turned on me. This is not over. You have until tomorrow morning to make this right. Confess, pay the fee, or I go public. Your choice. She stalked off toward the clubhouse, her clipboard swinging at her side. I stood there in the drizzle, my heart pounding, and pulled out my phone again. Marcus had sent another text. Marcus, by the way, check the doorbell cam footage if you can. Unit 9, the one facing the clubhouse entrance. Mrs. Tran has a Ring camera. She showed me a clip yesterday. You might want to see it. I did not know Mrs. Tran well, but I knew which unit was hers. I walked over and knocked. She answered after a moment, a small woman in her 70s with sharp eyes and a skeptical expression. "Can I help you?" she said. "Mrs. Tran, I am from Unit 12. I am sorry to bother you, but I heard you have doorbell camera footage from Monday night, the night the HOA storage keys went missing. Can I see it?" She studied me for a long moment, then stepped aside. "Come in." She led me to her kitchen table, where her tablet was already open. She tapped the screen a few times, then turned it toward me. "This is from Monday night, 9:40 p.m. Watch." The footage was grainy but clear enough. It showed the clubhouse entrance, the double glass doors reflecting the overhead security light. A figure approached from the left side of the frame, wearing a blue rain jacket and a black baseball cap. The figure unlocked the door with a key fob, went inside, and came back out 3 minutes later holding something small in one hand. The figure glanced around, then walked quickly out of frame. I leaned closer. "Can you zoom in?" She pinched the screen. The image pixelated, but I could still make out the shape of a keyring in the figure's hand, and the ponytail swinging under the cap. "That is Paige," I said. Mrs. Tran nodded. "I thought so too. I sent this to Marcus yesterday. He said I should keep it in case anyone asked. Now you are asking. Can you send me a copy?" She hesitated. "If I do, she will know it came from me. She already tried to find me twice this year for leaving my trash cans out 10 minutes too long. I do not need her targeting me." "I understand," I said. "But if you do not, she is going to keep accusing people until someone breaks. She already went after 3 others this week. I am number 4. She will not stop unless someone stops her." Mrs. Tran sighed. "Fine. Give me your email." "But you did not get this from me." "Understood?" "Understood." She sent the clip, and I saved it to 3 different places. That was clue number 2. Video proof that Paige was the one who accessed the clubhouse Monday night, not me. But I still needed more. I needed to know why she stole the keys, where they were now, and how to prove it in a way she could not deny. I thanked Mrs. Tran and headed back to my truck. My phone buzzed again. "Marcus. Marcus, one more thing. Check the HOA portal if you can still log in. She has been messing with the records. Dates do not match. Might be worth screenshotting before she locks you out." I opened the portal on my phone, logged in, and navigated to the incident report section. There it was, a report filed under my name, dated Monday, claiming I had requested access to the storage closet for maintenance purposes. The problem? I never requested access. I never even knew there was a storage closet. And the timestamp on the report was Monday at 10:15 p.m., 35 minutes after the doorbell footage showed Paige leaving the clubhouse. I took a screenshot. Then I took another. Then I emailed them to myself and to Marcus. That was clue number 3. The portal showed an admin edit that changed dates. Paige had backdated a fake access request under my name to make it look like I had been at the clubhouse. She was not just accusing me of theft. She was framing me with fabricated records. I sat in my truck, rain pattering on the windshield, and tried to piece it together. Paige stole the keys Monday night. She created a fake access request under my name. She started accusing random people to muddy the waters. But why steal the keys at all? What was she hiding? If you are loving this story, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you do not miss the next chapter of HOA chaos. Marcus called me 20 minutes later. "Dude, you need to see this. Can you come to the management office tomorrow morning?" I found something. What is it? Not over the phone. Just trust me. Be there at 8. I agreed and hung up. That night, I could not sleep. I kept replaying the footage, the fake report, the smug look on Paige's face. She thought she had me cornered. She thought I would break and confess just to make it stop. But she did not know I had spent 10 years inspecting buildings for code violations, which meant I knew how to document everything and build a case brick by brick. The next morning, I pulled up to the management office at 7:55. Marcus was waiting outside, leaning against the door with a folder in his hand. "You are going to want to sit down for this," he said. We went inside. The office was small, just a reception desk and a back room where the records were kept. Marcus led me to the back and opened a filing cabinet. "So here's the thing," Marcus said, pulling out a stack of papers. "We keep a log of all key fob access to the clubhouse. Every entry, every exit, time-stamped. Paige knows this, obviously, because she is on the board. But she also has admin access to the portal, which means she can edit the logs. Or at least she thinks she can." "What do you mean?" He grinned. "She does not know we also keep a backup log that only the property manager can access. It is stored on a separate server. So when she edits the main log, the backup does not change. And guess what? The backup log shows her entering the clubhouse Monday night at 9:40 p.m. The main log shows your name instead." She swapped the entries. He laid out 2 printouts side by side. The backup log clearly listed Paige Holloway as the access user Monday night. The main log listed my name. Same timestamp. Same fob number. Different name. "That is fraud," I said. "Yep, and it gets better." Marcus pulled another sheet from the folder. "This is a sealed evidence bag log from when we had a break-in at the pool supply shed last year. Paige was the one who reported it. She also volunteered to secure the evidence and file the police report. Except the evidence never made it to the police. It is still here." He opened a drawer and pulled out a small Ziploc bag with a silver keyring inside. "Look familiar?" I stared at the bag. "That is the storage keyring?" Marcus nodded. "She reported it stolen Monday night, but she never turned it in as evidence. She kept it. Which means she either took it herself or she knows who did and is covering for them. Either way, she lied about it being missing. Why would she do that?" Marcus leaned against the desk. "I have been putting pieces together all week. Paige has access to the clubhouse storage closet, the pool supply shed, the landscaping shed, all the shared spaces. And over the past 6 months, we have had a bunch of small value items go missing. Cleaning supplies, light bulbs, extension cords, petty cash from the event fund. Nothing big enough to trigger a full investigation, but enough that people noticed. I think she has been taking stuff and selling it, or maybe just hoarding it. And when someone started asking questions, she panicked and staged a theft to deflect blame." I felt my jaw tighten. "So she accused me to cover her own tracks." "Exactly. And she is counting on you folding before anyone digs deep enough to see the pattern." "Not happening," I said. "What do we do with this?" Marcus closed the folder. "First, we make copies of everything. Then we go to the property manager and show him the logs. After that, it is up to him whether to involve the police. But either way, Paige is done." We spent the next hour copying every document, every screenshot, every access log. Marcus also printed a second copy of the doorbell footage from Mrs. Tran, with timestamps highlighted. By the time we finished, we had a binder 3 inches thick. I texted Mrs. Tran to let her know we were moving forward. She replied with a thumbs up emoji and a short message, "Good." She tried to intimidate my neighbor last month for complaining about her parking. Someone needs to stop her. That was the extra witness. Mrs. Tran was not the only one Paige had targeted. She had been running this pattern for months, maybe longer, and people were finally ready to speak up. At 10 a.m., Marcus and I walked into the property manager's office. His name was David Keller, a middle-aged guy in a button-down shirt who looked perpetually tired. He glanced up from his desk as we entered. "Morning, Marcus. What can I do for you?" Marcus set the binder on the desk. "We need to talk about Paige Holloway." David sighed. "What did she do now?" "Fraud, theft, and falsifying HOA records." "We have proof." David opened the binder and started reading. His expression shifted from tired to focused to angry in the span of 2 minutes. He flipped through the access logs, the doorbell footage stills, the evidence bag documentation, the fake incident report. He did not say anything until he reached the end. "This is bad," he said finally. "If this is accurate, she has been stealing from the association for months and framing residents to cover it up. We are talking breach of fiduciary duty, fraud, possibly embezzlement depending on the petty cash numbers. I need to call our attorney." Immediately. He picked up his phone and dialed. While he talked, Marcus leaned over to me. "You did good. This is going to blow up, but you are in the clear." I nodded, but I was not thinking about being in the clear. I was thinking about Paige showing up at the mailbox cluster again, waving her clipboard and making threats. I was thinking about her posting in the neighborhood chat, spreading her lies before David could act. I needed to confront her directly, with witnesses, and force her to admit what she had done. Or at least catch her in a lie so obvious that even her allies could not defend her. David hung up and looked at us. "The attorney says we need to suspend her board access immediately and schedule an emergency audit. He also says if the police need to get involved, we should file a report today. Can you two come with me to the clubhouse right now? I want to secure the storage closet and document everything before she has a chance to remove evidence." We agreed. 10 minutes later, the three of us were standing outside the clubhouse with a maintenance guy who had a master key. David unlocked the door, and we went inside. The storage closet was in the back, past the rec room and the kitchen. David unlocked it with his key, pushed the door open, and froze. The closet was a mess. Shelves were half empty. Cleaning supplies, light bulbs, extension cords, even a small toolbox were missing. On the floor was a shopping bag with a receipt stapled to it, but the text was too faded to read. In the corner was a cardboard box with the top folded closed. David stepped inside and opened the box. Inside were a dozen items that should have been on the shelves. Spray bottles, rolls of paper towels, a cordless drill. He picked up the drill and turned it over. "This is HOA property," he said. "It is tagged. Why is it in a box on the floor?" Marcus crouched down and picked up the shopping bag. "There is a receipt here, but it is from a resale shop. Whoever sold this stuff tried to cover it up, but they kept the receipt." "That is sloppy." David pulled out his phone and took photos of everything. Then he called the attorney back. "We are going to need the police after all," he said. While David was on the phone, I walked around the closet and noticed something else. On the wall, near the light switch, was a small security camera. It was angled toward the shelves, not the door, which meant it would have recorded anyone accessing the storage area. I pointed it out to Marcus. "Does that camera work?" Marcus looked up. "It should. The board installed it 6 months ago after someone complained about missing supplies. But only the board has access to the footage. It is stored on a cloud server." David overheard and walked over. "Can you pull the footage?" Marcus nodded. "I can try. But if Paige has admin access, she might have deleted it already." "Try anyway," David said. "If it is there, we need it." Marcus pulled out his phone and logged into the cloud server. He scrolled for a minute, then his eyes widened. "It is here." She did not delete it. She just moved it to an archive folder and marked it as corrupted. But it is not corrupted. I can see the timestamps. Monday night, 9:45 p.m. Someone was here. He hit play. The footage was grainy but usable. It showed Paige entering the storage closet, looking around, then loading items into a shopping bag. She made 3 trips, moving quickly, glancing over her shoulder each time. On the third trip, she grabbed the silver keyring from a hook on the wall and slipped it into her pocket. Then she left. David watched the footage twice, then looked at Marcus. Send that to me and to the attorney. Right now. Done. Marcus said. David turned to me. I owe you an apology. She played us all. But this ends today. I am revoking her board access, filing a formal complaint with the HOA board president, and reporting this to the police. She is not getting away with this. I nodded, but I still was not satisfied. Paige had tried to destroy me. She had threatened my reputation, my housing situation, my peace of mind. I wanted her to know that I knew. I wanted to see her face when the walls closed in. And I wanted it on record. Where is she now? I asked. David checked his phone. She texted me an hour ago. She is at the community pool gate. She said she is conducting a compliance inspection. Why? I want to talk to her. With witnesses. David hesitated, then nodded. Fine. But I am coming with you. And so is Marcus. If she tries to retaliate, I want it documented. We walked to the pool gate. It was a 10-minute walk through the winding streets of Silver Oak, past the identical stucco homes and the perfectly trimmed hedges. The drizzle had stopped, but the pavement was still wet and the air smelled like rain and cut grass. When we arrived, Paige was standing at the gate with her clipboard, inspecting the lock. She was wearing the same blue rain jacket, the same black baseball cap, the same ponytail swinging as she moved. She looked up as we approached, and her face shifted from neutral to annoyed in half a second. What do you want? She said, looking at me. I told you to confess by this morning. Time is up. I am posting in the chat as soon as I finish here. I pulled out my phone and held it up, screen facing her. I have something to show you. She glanced at the screen, then froze. It was a still frame from the security footage, Paige in the storage closet, holding the shopping bag, the keyring clearly visible in her hand. Where did you get that? She said, her voice suddenly flat. From the clubhouse security camera, I said. The one you archived and marked as corrupted. Except it was not corrupted. It was just fine. And it shows you stealing HOA property Monday night at 9:45 p.m. The same night you accused me of stealing the keys. Paige opened her mouth, closed it, then looked at David. This is a setup. He edited that footage. He is trying to frame me. David stepped forward. Paige, I have seen the original footage. I have seen the backup access logs. I have seen the evidence bag in the office that you claimed was stolen, but never turned in. I have seen the fake incident report you filed under his name. I have copies of everything, and so does our attorney. You are done. Her face went white. She looked at Marcus, then back at me. You do not understand. I was trying to protect the association. There were discrepancies in the budget. I was investigating. By stealing cleaning supplies and framing residents? I said. That is your defense? She did not answer. She just stood there, gripping her clipboard so hard, her knuckles turned white. David pulled out his phone. I am calling the police now. They will want to talk to you about the theft, the fraud, and the falsified records. If you have an attorney, you should call them. Paige tried one last move. She turned to Marcus. You are involved in this. You helped him. I will make sure the board knows you violated your employment agreement by accessing confidential records. Marcus laughed. Paige, I am the records custodian. It is literally my job to access records. And everything I pulled was requested by the property manager. You have no leverage here. That was the moment she broke. Her shoulders sagged. She dropped the clipboard. It hit the wet pavement with a hollow smack, and when she bent to pick it up, she tried to use a stamp like a judge's gavel, pressing it onto the clipboard as if to make some final declaration of authority. But the stamp fell apart in her hands. the rubber pad separating from the handle and tumbling into a puddle. She stared at it for a second, then straightened and walked away without a word. David called the police. They arrived 20 minutes later, took statements from all of us, reviewed the footage, and opened an incident case. The officer who handled it told me they would be following up with Paige and conducting a full inventory of HOA property. He also said that if the evidence supported criminal charges, the state attorney would review the case for prosecution. The next day, David sent an email to the entire HOA board and copied me. The email detailed the investigation, the findings, and the immediate actions taken. Paige's board access was revoked. Her resignation was requested. An insurance risk warning was issued, which made the HOA panic because it threatened their liability coverage. The HOA reversed the enforcement action against me and expunged the theft accusation from my record. Paige's attempt to intimidate Mrs. Tran backfired when Mrs. Tran formally reported it to management, adding another layer of witness testimony against Paige. The property manager also issued a formal notice to Paige stating that any further retaliation or contact with residents regarding this matter would be treated as harassment and referred to law enforcement. I got a call from Marcus that afternoon. "Dude, you broke her. She tried to show up at the office this morning and demand access to the portal. The receptionist told her she was banned and that management had issued a no trespass warning. She started yelling, and the receptionist corrected her out loud in front of 4 other people while Paige kept insisting she had authority. It was brutal. That was the final humiliation moment. Paige had spent months wielding her clipboard and her title like weapons, and in the end, a receptionist shut her down in public while she sputtered and insisted she was still in charge. It was perfect. 2 weeks later, the HOA board held a special meeting to address the incident. I was invited to attend, not as a defendant, but as a witness. Paige did not show. The board president read a prepared statement summarizing the findings, the corrective actions, and the policy changes that would be implemented to prevent similar abuses in the future. He also issued a formal apology to me, to the 3 other residents Paige had falsely accused, and to Mrs. Tran for the intimidation attempts. At the end of the meeting, the board president announced that Paige Holloway had resigned from the board effective immediately and was no longer permitted to serve in any HOA leadership capacity. The room erupted in applause. I did not clap. I just sat there, feeling the weight of the past 2 weeks lift off my shoulders. Marcus texted me later that night. You know what the best part is? The audit found $2,300 in missing petty cash and supplies. She was not just stealing keys. She was running a side hustle selling HOA property online. The board is filing a civil suit to recover the money. She is going to be paying this off for years. I smiled. I did not need the money. I did not need revenge. I just needed the truth to come out. And it did. Paige Holloway tried to destroy me with lies, and instead, she destroyed herself with evidence she thought she had hidden. Silver Oak is quieter now. The pool gate stays locked. The mailbox cluster is peaceful. The neighborhood chat is back to complaining about lawn care schedules and holiday decoration rules. I still see Paige sometimes, driving past in her golf cart with a blinking amber light, but she does not stop. She does not wave. She does not even look. She just keeps moving, slow and aimless, like she is searching for something she knows she will never find. I still have the binder Marcus and I built, stored on a shelf in my office. I have not opened it since the board meeting, but I keep it there as a reminder. The truth is heavy, and it takes time to build, but once you have it, no one can take it from you. Not a clipboard, not a title, not even a stolen keyring. I hope the rest of your day is peaceful.